All right, we have some semblance of a shot list. So, want to go through this. Excited to run through kind of a first pass, but this is kind of the structure of this Excel doc. Um, got notes, got a variety of just kind of an index right here, which sequence it belongs to, the name of the shot, the source of the shot, description, the framing, the angle, the movement, priority, capture, all that good stuff, including some cinematographer and driver notes, as well as some compositing as well. So yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of stroll through it. What's trying to be captured here, and you know, like I've kind of laid out, is this trailer is meant to, yes, serve to explain and be an intro to the script of the story, The Year of LEOM. Um, but there has been no trailer fitting that. And I recognize that, if not for this Future Vision XPRIZE competition, I wouldn't be framing this trailer uh, as a submission the same way that I would if it was just LEOM as its own independent project. So knowing kind of the background and context that I know about the contest is dictating how this trailer is comprised, essentially, knowing that, for example, it's one of, hundreds of submissions. Um, it has, a certain audience baked in and judge panel and whatnot. And, the goal is to compete at a high level with those people. So understanding who the audience is important. Um, I don't know how exactly that would change. I've not given a lot of thought of it for just the story Year of Liam by itself, but this is the trailer for our stories X Prize competition submission. So main themes need to drive it home. We have willpower slash agency, and we have essentially just being intentional. So, what's the best way that I could think of kind of driving that home was, you have a township, and you pan down, and you have a kid, and he is essentially making sure his house is in order. He, as it's kind of laid down here, the perfectionist prep. He aligns the logo as he sets everything up, centered everything on his dash in terms of his outfit for the next day. He's excited. He's staring at the ceiling, and as he closes his eyes, he's getting flashes of kind of this vision montage of kind of this world building effort, the dream departure, cutting through the skies. So, initially we get the idea that, okay, this is a jetpacker. He is a, you know, neo-laxer. It's kind of the sport in which the jetpacking culture really is shaped around. So, garage opens, uh, jetpack is sitting there ready, maybe an indication of this is a legacy. Uh, Dog eye angle low, robots kind of given some world building here um, as it goes through, kids talking, um, and, is kind of have moments of, the world building and some comedic moments going through, also glimpses of what City Hall looks like, and elders of the town, and just life, energy, buoyancy fields, generating energy, um, and then maybe, after all this, his eyes snap open. It's morning. It's real now through the window. Other high school jetpackers already flocking to practice or to academy, and it's go time for him as well. Um, he actually, flies over, and you get these shots that are kind of a bulk of our in this DEF range. We have the stunts, which is basically a variety of, jetpacking shots. So, um, you know, bunch of cool stuff in here, beats of adventure, and all of this has voiceovers. That I think voice is gonna play a huge role um, over this, and that's not gonna be something that's generated with AI. That's gonna be actual performance capture. A lot of cool, just kind of visuals and whatnot, and you know, gets to the point where um, this thing he's been looking forward to is this Oklahoma drill, and essentially platform elevated, and he's on the ground, and he's got his little scythe, which is kind of the sword or main equipment outside of the jetpack for this neolax sport. And you know what an Oklahoma drill is. You just head, eyes up and flip over. Someone's flying down, our guy's flying up, and it's just boom, absolute clash. Good vibes afterwards and whatnot. Um, but and he has now started his first steps to a larger journey for him, for this character we're following here. It's this sport, and it's kind of I guess you could say this broader world that he's looking at, of where his willpower and agency goes toward. But throughout this journey of following him, we also see, like, a bunch of celebrations. We get the context of the main story, which is this is a holding pattern, and people are trying to find what that agency means for them in an era of abundance, and you know get the world building with the flashes throughout. And that's kind of the story here of the trailer, and kind of ends on a note of overlooking uh, a cityscape, and life is good. So we want to raise questions. We want to, you know, for me, I want to talk about something that I know, which is kind of an anticipation, uh, a preparedness to go into something kind of meta in some ways. But that's what I know, and I think that's really the crux of what I'm trying to get across here. And outside of that, it's just sprinkling in some cool world building elements. And yeah, we have it organized here. Gonna share it with the DP and lock in statuses. As you can see, a lot of it in this J column here is fully generated, but there's a lot of comps and practical only shots. So just a healthy mix here. And yeah, that's the rough, I guess you could say, rough pass number one. I'm sure it's gonna ebb and flow, but it's what we're looking at.